Hello. I am currently sitting in my roommate's car. I don't have one because mine was totaled, and I am waiting to get one, but I kind of needed a space to just kind of clear my head. I wrote some things down yesterday that I thought might be nice to share. It's really hard for me to get my thoughts out when I'm just talking about them. It's a lot easier for me to thoroughly explain how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking by writing it down. And I have this notebook that I've been doing that in for a little over a year now, as well as going to counseling. And I don't know, I thought maybe it'd be good to kind of talk about my experiences to see if it helps anybody else out. I've been feeling really compelled to make videos. I hadn't before until recently. I think that's just because I've had so much overwhelming stress that I needed another outlet. So I think these videos are going to be mostly for me. I'm not, worried about if other people are going to see them or not. I think it would be cool, to share some experiences and maybe make some new friends through talking about these things, because I think these are the conversations that are most important. I don't really know what I'm talking about. Of course, I'm not like a licensed counselor or psychiatrist or anything. It's just me talking about my own personal experiences, but I definitely recommend that anyone who's struggling finds their outlet, whether that is therapy or going to a doctor and potentially starting medications, or just talking to somebody in general. I think that it can be really helpful, just like for me how writing things down is helpful. So yesterday I wrote, lately the need to create content has consumed me. I've never really been interested in it, but I watch so much YouTube and Twitch that it has compelled me to give it a chance. I don't think it will really go anywhere, but I thought I'd give it a chance because I know it will help me out more. Watching other people's content has really given me the chance to escape. The real world is tough and scary. Every time I step outside, I feel small because there are so many factors that contribute to how the rest of my day will go. I tend to stress about my future and the answers to questions I may never have, rather than the present and how it is currently impacting me. Majority of the time, I feel like a pretty positive and optimistic person. Even though I feel this way, I'm still often have rough days. Days where my anxiety is suffocating, days where my panic disorder overwhelms my every move, days where my OCD is in overdrive or my depression is sinking. No matter what, I push to keep a self-serving perspective. By that I mean that I judge each situation by asking, does this give or take away my energy? If something worries you out so much to where you can't function normally, your battery is running low. We control what we give space to in our minds, and that is the ultimate power. And I know that might sound cheesy, but that genuinely is a thing that has helped me the most with all of my disorders and all of my issues that I have. Also, my eye twitches a lot, so please pay no mind to that. I'm trying to get that situated. But there are times when everything is so overwhelming that it's really difficult to keep perspective. And I think if I didn't have that perspective of things will get better and things will look up, then I probably wouldn't be here today. My 2 counselors have taught me that worrying so much about things that you can't really change or don't know if you could change, it really just kind of takes you over. You have to give space in your mind to yourself. You have to give yourself the opportunity to get better. And that all starts with recognizing where the problem is. If you recognize that you're struggling, that is the very first step to getting better. And then if you start to understand where those problems are coming from, that helps you get an idea of what you can do to get yourself on a path to success. And that path is not at all linear. It's very bumpy, it's very rocky. It takes a lot of turns and you have no idea if you're getting close to the end or not. Because it's kind of always going to be a battle. your whole life is just trying to survive. And I think that we often forget that all of us are trying to do that. And so it makes it easy to take it out on others when we're all just trying to do the same thing and just get through it all. But I have really bad panic disorder, and the thing that makes me panic the most is worrying about time. I am always worried that whatever I'm doing, I'm not doing fast enough, I'm not getting where I need to go quick enough, or I'm falling behind. And I've always had issues with feeling like I'm disappointing myself or others, because growing up, I was told I had so much potential, or I was going to go places, things like that, and no one never really had to worry about me. And then I had to adult really quickly. I'm only 20 now, and I feel like I've been adulting for like the past, 5-6 years. And it's been hard, and it's going to be hard for anyone. And I think making sure that you validate your feelings and yourself is the most important thing you can do, because invalidating yourself will just lead to your problems growing and getting worse. Of course, your situation can always be worse, but that doesn't mean what you're going through is, not validated. Everything you're feeling is real, and only you know how you feel. People can't tell you how you feel. I think these conversations are the real conversations that everyone needs to have. If not with others, with themselves. You have to want to get better, and for me that took some time to understand, but I've been going counseling for at least 4 years, and this process has been the most gratifying, if that's the right word, most gratifying process of my life. I've learned the most about myself than I ever have. I feel comfortable enough to be alone now. I know what I want and what I need and what I don't need in my life. I know what drains my battery and what doesn't, what gives me energy and what takes away. I recently had to separate myself from some people in my life who were taking away my energy for a very long time, and that was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but I know I had to do it for me, because in those situations it's important to be selfish, and that doesn't mean, cutting yourself out of other people's lives or taking it out on other people. It just means serving your own needs, but not at others' expense. And so I just think it's important to surround yourself with people who will push you to be your better self, who understand you and your morals and what you stand for. Because if somebody's like peer pressuring you to do something you're not comfortable with or something you don't want to do, that's not a real friend. And yes, there's a thing as positive peer pressure, but in most cases what we see is negative peer pressure. And a lot of that comes from the media and your peers around you. So I think it's really difficult to evaluate your situation when you've had these people around you your whole life, and you finally are starting to realize maybe they're not necessarily good for me or what I need right now. And I think that is totally okay. And that is a really hard process to go through, but it is very important that you take the time to understand what you need to continue growing. We all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. So we mess up, and I think it's important to take that lesson and apply it to the rest of your life, because if you're just, ignoring your problems, it's not going to get better. Or if you realize that you're doing something that's wrong, or you're hurting other people or yourself, not accepting that lesson and changing, it's not going to help anyone. All we can do is trust ourselves and love ourselves, because if you don't fully love yourself, then you're never going to be able to fully love another person and let them in completely. Because if you're not satisfied with who you are, or you don't know who you are yet, then the connections you have with other people probably aren't fully authentic to who you are. I have been struggling with, obviously, the world and everything I've got going on, but comparing myself to others as well is a pretty huge thing, especially my brothers. My brothers are the best people I know in my entire life. I love them with my whole heart, and I wish I could take them everywhere with me all the time. They are my number one best friends and supporters, and they are so beyond smart, and they are too good for this world. They are such kind men, and I love them so much. And they are succeeding like crazy, and I've never been more proud of anyone in my entire life than I am for them. But sometimes it's difficult when you're always with these people and you see them succeeding, and you're kind of waiting for your own moment. And that's okay. We have difficult days, but you can't let other people's success control how you act yourself, if that makes any sense. Because if I am letting what my brothers do affect me that much, then I'm just going to go into like a pit of depression, and that's not good for anybody. And I want to be able to support my brothers and listen to them and tell them how proud I am of them, because it is genuine. It's extremely genuine. I love them so much, if you can't tell. But we are different people. We are 3 different human beings who are going through 3 different things, and that is okay. We're not always going to be in the same spot in our lives, emotionally, financially, physically, successfully. It's just not how it is. Everyone is different. Their story is different, and that is okay. I really believe that everything happens for a reason, and what you give out is what you will give back. So I'm just going to keep patiently waiting for my turn, because I know things will get better for me. I know they will, because they've been worse. They have been. And I have grown so much. I used to live every day thinking about not being here every 5 minutes. That was my every single day. And now I wake up every day and I'm glad I'm here. And that is the biggest growth that I have seen for myself. So I think just give yourself some time and give yourself the grace, because we're all too hard on ourselves. We're all too hard on each other. And I think that if we all just sit back and try and understand where we're all coming from, then things would be a lot better in this world. So just give yourself that grace. Give yourself the time to feel all of your feelings, because they are valid and they are who you are. And without those feelings, you wouldn't be who you are. So I think that lesson is completely just one of the most important things we can learn. So yeah, with that, that's pretty much all I have for today, I think. I'm hoping to do kind of discussions like this in the future. So let me know what you guys think, and if you want to see anything else, I'm down for suggestions. I love getting to know people and talking about these important things that matter. I love mental health, and I think it's such a widespread problem that everyone has dealt with it at some point in their life. It's just a really good thing to talk about. So let me know what you guys think, and I will see you later. Bye.